Today we'll be reading 4 Stages of the Dark Side, a recording from Tolaris Shim, from Jedi vs. Sith, The Essential Guide to the Force, by Ryder Windham. 4 Stages of the Dark Side. I have been asked to provide an explanation for how Ulic Qel-Droma, who sought to destroy the Krath and the Sith, became a Sith Lord and a committer of fratricide. While certain influences and circumstances may have seemed specific to Qel-Droma's transition from Jedi to Sith Lord, an objective analysis suggests that his transition to the dark side was not so unique. Whether by accident, inclination, or misdirection from others, even the most disciplined Force user eventually steps onto the path that leads to the dark side. This gateway to corruption is paved with good intentions, more frequently traveled as a means to efficiently achieve a desired result than to accomplish deliberate evil. Because Force users who crave power, embrace hatred, seek revenge, and suffer tragedy are especially susceptible to being lured toward the dark side, some members of our order have proposed that Force-sensitive beings should somehow be identified and conscripted at infancy, so that they might begin Jedi training without exposure to negative influences. Although such training might produce stronger and more reliable Jedi, the notion of recruiting babies to our cause is obviously controversial. Opponents to the proposal are quick to note that the historic record lists numerous Jedi who raised their own children in the Jedi ways, with mixed results. Because even these Jedi-trained offspring were not entirely immune to the lure of the dark side, it seems that even a lifetime of training is no guarantee to prevent casualties. The dark path is experienced in 4 stages: temptation, imperilment, submission, and atonement or redemption. To those who believe they are immune to any of these stages, just as Ulic Qel-Droma may have believed himself immune, I say you are already victim to the dark side's seductive tendrils, and urge you to listen as you have never listened before. First stage, temptation. Because you are a Jedi and possess Force powers, you will find yourself in situations in which you may be tempted to use or demonstrate your abilities, to rush to the aid of an ally, confront apparent dangers, or resolve differences hastily. But if you are prone to action before patience, to draw blood first and ask questions later, you will step onto the dark path. Second stage, imperilment. A Jedi must know when to act and when to wait. A Jedi cannot be indecisive, nor can a Jedi take a detour onto the dark path and expect to find a guidepost that will return him to the light. If you obsess about doing the right thing, no matter what the cost may be, and believe you can maintain at least some semblance of the light when you finally make your decision, you are imperiled to remain upon or revisit the dark path. If you accept the dark side of the Force as a means to power, you are most likely not concerned about taking the next step. Third stage, submission. Once you accept the dark path, you may no longer believe there is any need to justify your actions. If you are at all aware of how far you have strayed from the ways of the Jedi, you may be merely tainted by the dark side, but might still find a way to return to the light. If you find it liberating and exhilarating to give yourself fully to the dark side, then you are a dark Jedi, and it is the responsibility of your former allies to either stop you or attempt to bring you back to the light. Fourth stage, atonement or redemption. Through a period of meditation, reflection, and absolution, a Jedi who is tainted by the dark side can atone for her actions. A dark Jedi cannot atone, but may find redemption by turning away from the dark side and performing a selfless act of heroism without calling upon the dark side of the Force. A dark Jedi who has no desire to relinquish the power of the dark side and return to the light cannot be redeemed. The possibility of atonement or redemption has led various Jedi to believe that they could control their journey on the dark path in order to conquer evil. None has ever succeeded. Do I encourage that you avert your gaze from the shadows? No, I do not, nor do I suggest that you blind yourself by the light. I merely say that one cannot avoid the darkness unless one knows where it lies, and the routes that lead to it, and that a Jedi is ultimately responsible for his powers. Trust that even the most learned Jedi Master must always be mindful of the dark path. May the Force be with you.
Addendum by Tionne Solusar. If Tolaris Shim ever made a statement regarding Ulic Qel-Droma's alleged redemption and subsequent death, it is yet to be found. But the conviction of Jedi Master Tolaris Shim's words on the subject of redemption prompted me to reconsider the reputations of several Jedi who traveled over to the dark side, apparently returned to the light, and were eventually considered redeemed by some Jedi, if not all. Of particular interest to me was how Tolaris Shim might have regarded the actions of Anakin Skywalker, Luke Skywalker, and Kyp Durron. After I provided what I considered to be an accurate and objective account of each Jedi's dark side experiences and revelations, Shim's interactive hologramic simulacrum offered the same judgment upon all. Any Jedi who kills innocents while under sway of the dark side cannot be redeemed. She can only atone or attempt to atone. While most would agree that some actions are entirely unforgivable, it is possible that redemption may be, like so many other things in life, a matter of perspective.
I hope you've enjoyed this reading of 4 Stages of the Dark Side, a recording from Tolaris Shim.